Hey girls, welcome to the Asterisk Podcast. I'm your host, April Biondolillo. Hey girls, welcome back to the Asterisk Podcast, where I'm your host, April Biondolillo, and today on the show things look a little bit differently. One, you can see us rather than just hearing us.
You're welcome.
And yeah, we brought a fan favorite back on the podcast.
Are you lying?
I'm not lying. People were like raving about you.
I don't believe that, but thanks.
They were like, bring her back.
I don't believe one person told you that.
Anyways, we have Katie Brown, aka my best friend, back on the podcast because we figured we need to do a friendship podcast episode, and what screams friendship more than a matching pajama set in Christmas? I mean, it's just, why are you looking at me like that?
I was just waiting for you to
didn't
say something
force
about
it.
we don't match exactly.
Oh yeah, no, that is true.
I've been hearing about it for the last 12 hours.
We made this plan. We bought these pajamas online together for this trip. And I show up and the girl has like an embroidered bow on her pocket. There's no embroidered bow on my pocket.
It's a little embroidered bow.
She's trying to upscale me. Anyways, it's okay. That's what we're going to talk about. That's the issue. The tea that we have. No, but we wanted to give you a little glimpse of what's to come in 2025 when we launch season 3. So this is actually the last episode of season 2. And we're really excited because now you're going to get to see us rather than just hear us. We're going to be launching a YouTube channel. So we're just excited because podcasts, it's been so fun. But what makes this even more special to me is now I get to sit down face to face, have a little bit more organic conversations rather than through a screen. So it's going to be really good. And another thing that they should know about Katie is that Cherish Conference Tour just launched in our Fort Worth location. We're going to be having conference there at Bethesda Community Church on February 21st. So do yourself a favor if you haven't already. Snag your early bird tickets. You get a t-shirt when you sign up. And grab some friends to join you with you. It's going to be a great time. We're excited to see you. But for now...
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm going to stop now before I embarrass myself. I usually tell people I'm an embarrassment to the state of Texas because I don't represent anything of them. Like, I hate country music. I don't own boots.
Shameful.
Don't want to go two-stepping. Yeah, so...
well, you need to go to Billy Bob's.
I'm a fraud. Billy Bob's is
Well,
fun.
I'm not even from Texas, and I'm more Texan than you are.
Yeah, you're going to hear it in her accent.
I don't even have an accent.
You're originally from Georgia, so I feel like that's...
Yeah, I'm from Atlanta.
I'm from Atlanta. See, I heard it right there.
No, I don't think so.
Tell them how you say orange.
Orange.
Yeah. That sums up my point. But anyways, well, hey, we're in Austin, Texas. We went on a girls' trip, which was super fun. We got here yesterday.
Yes.
And what have we done?
We went thrifting at a really cool and vibey vintage store. Actually, it really was really cool.
Yeah, we thought we were going into a pretty normal thrift store, and then when we checked out and left, you were like, we didn't even go into that thrift store.
No, we had one set thrift store we wanted to go into. I was like, we're not even in that thrift store. We're in a completely different one down the block. So I don't know how that happened, but
it was better.
Oh, it was way better.
And it was a strip of minis. So we got to go to a couple of thrift stores, which was fun.
Yeah.
Then we went to a Mexican restaurant.
Yes.
It looked really cute online, and it was cute.
Yeah.
It was just online. It seemed more casual.
It's
lights on, vibrant.
It was very light and bright and fun, and
we walked in, and it was very dark and moody and intimate.
It was the most intimate experience I've had
in a while. Sorry.
Maybe.
It just kind of came out so naturally. But anyways, yeah, they literally had a candlelight at our table with us, so...
I thought it was nice.
It was nice.
I had the prettiest date there.
You did.
You don't have to say anything about me.
You were, like, second best, but...
It's true.
Just kidding. Katie's like a model, so you can't compete. I've been so stressed about, like, packing for this trip, because I know whatever outfits I bring are not going to compare, but...
That's not true at all.
It is, because I actually had to change my entire outfit last night because I was wearing jeans and a cardigan, and you come out with leather pants and this nice top, and I was like, oh, so when I say casual and you say casual, there's a difference.
Typically, my casual is not leather pants.
Well, on this trip it was.
And 100% was
and
on this
I didn't
trip.
get the memo. Once again, like I didn't get the embroidered bow memo. It's fine. But anyways, so we did that last night. We're staying at an Airbnb. It's pretty cute. We had some struggles with, we couldn't get the door open.
Well, I just like to preface saying that anytime you and I do anything, it never goes according to plan.
Actually, never. I'm surprised we haven't been in a wreck.
But
I'm
knocking on
wood. So your head's made out of wood.
Yeah.
She's a model.
I'm not too smart.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, yeah.
No, I was just waiting. Honestly, when we were driving down here, I was like, I'm just waiting for it to go wrong.
Well, and as soon as we turned into the neighborhood, I think you were like, hold on, just let me get my bearings and figure this out. Because it's like, go behind this yellow house.
Oh, okay. Let me preface. I watch a lot of ID Discovery, and so I'm already paranoid in general. So
which is not good, because I feel like you're a highly anxious person.
Yes. And then
so let's just fuel it.
And so then I watch
Anything
all this stuff, and so then I'm like, I don't know where I am, and I'm like, well, I don't know if something were to happen, what you would do. So I'm like, if someone,
every man for themselves.
That's what I'm saying. I think you are that type, and I can't. So
I'm like, look at you first, and I have plenty of time.
That's what I'm saying. So I have no chance.
I mean, that's real friendship, though. Honesty.
I don't know about that one. I'd hope you at least called 911.
Once I'm in a safe environment, sure.
I feel like, okay.
I'm kidding.
I don't think that you are.
Honestly, this is the thing. This is kind of going to take a dark turn, but I know. I was almost abducted when I was a child. Like, for real. Do you remember this?
Wait, did I know that? Did I know you?
No.
Oh.
It wasn't, like, in the newspaper or anything, so I don't know why I'm asking. Like, did you...
Did you know?
No, it was me and my neighbor, Abby, and we were just playing in the cul-de-sac, and all of a sudden this black truck pulls up. Him and this, like, girl get out of their car, and they're like, can we videotape y'all? I know. And I thought I would be, like, fierce and, like, I'm going to stop this. This was me. Well, my friend Abby's doing tricks for him on the camera. Luckily, her mom came out, and then they got in the car and drove away so fast.
That's so scary.
Yeah, we had to
I've known you for almost 20 years. I did not know that.
No, we had to call the police, and they came over. So I know how I'm going to react in those situations. I'm going to freeze. Maybe I've changed. I don't know.
I don't think I could fight somebody. I feel like I'm putting myself an easy target on the internet.
I'm glad you think my podcast is that big. That many people. Hey, we're believing.
I know. What are you talking about?
No, but yeah, then the second issue, well, we had a hard time with the door.
Okay. You've never seen a lock like this in your actual life.
This girl's like rattling it.
I literally was about to bust down this door. I was getting so upset.
She was trying to carry her suitcases up the stairs. They fell backwards.
Well, first of all, you had to walk up a mountain to even get here.
Like a foot. But I'm kidding. No, we did. And like I have like one of my parents' suitcases because I brought a whole entire suitcase.
Who has a suitcase with only 2 wheels these days?
My parents. Okay. I took it because my other one has all of this tech equipment for this podcast that
ridiculous.
Takes a lot of setup. But hey, humble beginnings. But yeah, no. And we got inside. Everything was great. And then last night we're going to bed. And I'm in the bed. And for some reason I'm like touching the ground. Because it's slanted. So you were really smart. You were like, it's the bed slat. So we had to take the bed off. And put it all back together. It was like a lot of work. I was like, this is supposed to be relaxing.
Yeah. No, I started sweating.
I'm like, that's
and I wasn't even doing anything.
Discount.
And I wasn't even doing anything. You were doing the work, but I still was sweating.
Yeah, I was doing the work.
I was like, she's going to be so mad at me.
It's fine. We made it in, and we slept well. Good night's sleep.
Yeah, except you touched my shoulder.
I don't know why I did that.
I
do remember one time, though. I don't know why all these memories are coming back from my childhood.
Do you remember?
You weren't there either, but another friend. I broke my arm. And I had this big cast on. And so in the middle of the night, when she was sleeping with me, I took it and I whacked her in the face. Not intentionally. It's just, I move around. Yeah, so we decided we probably should sleep in separate beds.
Oh my gosh.
So you're welcome. But, Katie, we've been friends for a long time.
Almost 20 years.
It's crazy.
A
20-year friendship.
I know. But we're so young.
Yeah, we're still like 20. We've known each other since we came out the womb.
We've known each other since we were 1, because we're 21. I'm 31.
Yeah, I got you a card because it was so perfect when I got in the car with you. It was like, what did it say? Let's age together? Or let's grow old together?
Or let's gray together or something.
But
you go first.
Katie hates anything
Hilarious.
about age and old.
I'm very
hairs.
sensitive about my age.
So it's like the funniest thing to make jokes about. So when I saw this card.
Like I'm an old hag or something.
I had to buy the card. It was so perfect. But anyways, 20 years of friendship.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it because friendships is something that I think many of us struggle with. I've talked about so many times. Like as you get older, making friendships feels more uncomfortable. Like
yeah, no, for sure.
I think worse than like first dates. Like I don't know. So it's tough. It's challenging. So we were lucky enough to meet each other we knew each other in elementary school.
Can I just talk about how your parents came to the garage sale at my house?
Yes. Classic,
so basically,
iconic.
the first introduction, I knew who April was because she stole my solo for the Star Spangled Banner, but
that I sang and cried at because it was so horrible.
I don't think it was bad, but so I knew who you were.
They didn't tell me I was gonna have to do it a cappella.
You thought you were gonna have backing tracks?
Yeah, which does make a difference because then I had to keep like my own rhythm. That's hard.
Okay. Anyway, so we had a garage sale at my house.
I was chosen and you weren't. I'm sorry. Too soon?
Yeah, I'm still upset about it. This was like what, 2006, 2005?
You're better at the years than I am.
2005-ish. But anyways, so we had a neighborhood garage sale
on a Tuesday, like. Okay, sorry. It was a garage sale.
Thank you. There's a garage sale in my neighborhood, and so I was wearing a Gold Choir sweatshirt.
Do you see what I'm talking about? You remember every detail.
Yeah. I remember things that are important.
My hair was half up, half down. I just finished eating a bagel.
I think I was into my like sweatpants phase and ponytail phase. So it wasn't probably great. But anyways, so I was sitting there and all of a sudden I had this couple walk up to me and they're like, "Do you know April Schaefer?"
Oh, because of the sweatshirt.
And I said, "Oh, yeah, she's in choir with me." And they were like, "Oh, we know because we saw your sweatshirt. That's our daughter." And I was like, "Oh, weird." So I met your parents really before I met you.
So they slipped you some money to be my friend.
Yeah.
That's the confession for today.
Yeah. And they keep paying me monthly since. How do you think I keep up with my closet?
Okay, so jokes aside.
But isn't that weird though?
That is kind of crazy. Yeah. Not that they were at a garage sale because I feel like my mom was at every garage sale. Shout out to Paula Schaefer.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so then I can't pinpoint. I have like memory moments.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when I guess that was the first class we were ever together in was choir. Was that like
sixth grade? Sixth grade Gold Choir, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember...
Or were we even saying... Because there's two classes. I don't even know if we were in the same...
Didn't you run down the hallway? I remember like you...
No, that was in 8th grade.
Oh.
No, because... No, that was 7th grade because 8th grade I broke my ankle. 7th grade I broke my arm.
Yeah, I was with her when she broke her arm. She was running in the hallway like a Looney Tune and fell.
Yeah.
And broke.
When I fall, I fall.
But then, like, the next week, I broke my wrist in soccer.
Oh, yeah. They're Crow Buddies for life.
So silly. Just childish. Anyway, so we grew up throughout the years. Like, we kind of were in the same circle of friends. Mm-hmm. I think we had some, like, close moments. I know. I can remember, like, us going to lunch one day in the summer because we were in student council, like setting up for, I think, fish camp for the freshmen coming in that year, having good conversation. Like, I felt like a deeper connection. We always, like, hung out in groups of, like, 2, 3, 4. Like, we just, again, ran in the same group of friends. But I think our senior year is when we both identify that we got a lot closer.
Right.
We were in a lot more... student council.
Right. I think student council took over both of our lives. I think we, like, fully, like, put in everything into that. And so we were really involved.
And we, like, did state, like, we went, like, on trips. We went to San Antonio and, like, competed. We did, like, I don't remember where, like, the main
Well, we did a
Texas.
bunch of we did a district conference that year. That was
State.
it was a lot of work and
Yeah.
a lot of hours after school put in. And I was working too at the time.
Yeah, and we hosted events at the school too.
So it was just crazy, busy all the time.
So I think because our schedules aligned so much and that we just were spending so much time.
Right. And I think we were like each other's person in that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like not everyone had somebody, but I do feel like people kind of partnered up.
Yeah.
You know, I can think of like a lot of two duos within student council or, whatever that, existed. And I think you and I just became this duo within that. And so whenever we would do stuff like that, we would always just be together doing whatever.
Which was super nice because I was going through low-key a lot of rejection in my life personally, but even within student council, I didn't really... I just didn't fit into the main group, and I wasn't really always invited into that, and I was a body officer, but didn't really always feel like I fit in to that mold, and they were all a lot closer. No shame, just people connect better with others than they do, and so you were just always there, and we connected really well, so that was kind of my saving grace, because I think I would have not enjoyed it as much if I didn't have you in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think quickly what I learned about your friendship is that you're so intentional. And I can remember, even when I was going through, the hardest things, I know I've shared on the podcast before, my testimony and, my struggles of, not getting attention from guys. And so talking to strangers online. First time, my parents, found out about it. It was just, this big mess and just really challenging. And I was always talking about Cherish Ministry with you. I think you're one of my first friends that I was really opening up about, hey, this is what God's putting on my heart. But I was also struggling. It's so weird looking back because you can't really, discern the difference of what was happening at what time. But you bought me, and I can't remember if it was, a bracelet or a necklace.
I think it might have been a necklace.
But it had Cherish written on it. And I remember being in the hallway. I don't even know why I was in the hallway. Or how I could be in the hallway when we were supposed to be in class. Maybe it was
we did that
council.
Kind of stuff all the time.
I know. And I was just sitting in the hallway super sad, and I remember you coming and giving me that jewelry
We must have been in leadership because I'm why was I also
I know
the halls?
That's why it's weird. But you gave it to me, and that was just man, this is a friend that meets me where I'm at, in my brokenness, that cares. And that's been something you've been doing for 20 years since, which is so huge. I think especially in high school, because high school is so hard. I hated high school. I had fun, and there were good memories and good moments, but overall I look back and I just felt that's where I feel the pit of my rejection just sat. Yeah. I walked the hallways, I felt so unseen. I felt embarrassed of who I was in so many ways, but yet in the midst of that, I found a friend that was going to stick for life and has championed me, has walked through things with me, and vice versa. But I think finding a friend like that in high school, and especially because in high school you're told all the time, you're not going to keep these friends. They're not going to last, which is also a fear.
Right.
Because then once you graduate high school, you go through so many different transitions.
Yeah.
And for us, I went off to school, and you and our other friends that were really close, all stayed back and went to Denton. Did you go to Denton right away, or did you do TCC?
No, I did community college first for a couple years, and then I transitioned to a 4-year.
And that was
that was the best thing for me.
Saved a lot of money.
I graduated without any student debt, so that was a big thing for me. But I don't know.
And I honestly, that was what I was going to do too. I had no intention of going off to college, but I think obviously it's the Lord. I needed to go, because I look at my college experience, and it really was more of a training ground, and the Lord doing a lot of development in me, just preparing me to be separated. But it was so hard because I was leaving what was my community, what were my best friends. And I think you do have that FOMO of you're developing friends in college, and then you come back for breaks. It's the same, but it's different. We always got to pick up where we left off, but you guys were also still continuing to have life.
Right.
And I was trying to develop what my life in Oklahoma was going to be.
Right.
I don't know any college students that wrestle going off to school, coming back. It's just so hard. There's so much pressure to keep up. And when I'd come home, I was okay, I've got to visit with my parents, but I got to visit with my friends.
Right.
And then I'm also missing college, like on summer breaks when it's so long, like ready to get back, but is that bad? You know?
Right.
Torn. And that's where we started to develop kind of our first argument or like tension in our friendship.
Yeah.
What do you like recall during that time?
I just remember, and I think you feel like when you were talking, saying I feel FOMO, but that's how I felt staying back. I was like, I'm not having this like college experience like a lot of these people are having that did move off.
Yeah.
And so that made me really sad and feel like I was missing out because I feel like, okay, well, I didn't do the dorm thing and I didn't do this like meet a bunch of new like friends and stuff like that. And so whenever we got into like our thing, I just felt, I guess, dropped. Like, okay, I'm not going to be a part of this like next chapter for you. And
that's hard because you're like, you don't know. Like, will we make it through? Will we not? And I think at that time, I think I still wrestle with this is it's always been hard for me to juggle multiple things in the sense of people. Like, I become very task oriented. I become very focused on the thing that's right there in front of me. And so if you weren't someone right there in front of me, it was hard to register the importance of like following up and checking in and being intentional. And I think during that time I had not learned the importance of it. And I can't even remember it. Like, I don't know if like how we talked about it or how that came about. I feel like
I just
we talked
remember
over
you
the phone.
coming into town,
Oh, okay.
and I remember and we all got together, like all 4 or 5 of us got together, and I was just like, okay, this is like stupid.
And I think
ridiculous.
I think we just drifted. Like, I don't know if we ever really talked about it. I think we knew it, but we never. I don't even know how we like.
I don't either.
Reconciled
I don't even
that.
know if we even had a conversation about it or what happened. To be honest with you,
So long ago. But yeah, I mean, here we are. So obviously it worked out. But yeah, then I graduated college. I mean, we don't even have to go through the timeline. It's just like we've been friends through elementary, middle school, high school, college, post-college. And the reality is majority of our friendship has been long distance. Like,
yeah, I didn't even realize that until you brought it up earlier today. That that's true.
we have not lived in the same state together consistently since 2012. I came back for a year in I came back for a couple months like 2016, 2017. Like, I came back end of December 2016. But then I left again May of 2017, which was hard too because it was like, I'm going to be here. No, I'm not. Then moved back here in 2021. I'm going to be here. And then a year later, we were moving again, less than that. So we really, like, we got to take advantage of those moments. But I think you and I always kind of have known, like, we wouldn't always be in the same place. I think we both are very ambitious in what we want to do, where we see ourselves.
Well, and I think that comes with maturity too, is like realizing it's like you have to do what's best for you and I have to do what's best for me. And if that's not being together physically, like, I love you so much that like I would want you to do whatever it is that you needed to do that makes you happy. And if that's not being next door to me, then I don't want you to be doing that.
Yeah. No, I think that's been very accurate. I think we've been very supportive of each other's dreams, like, no matter what that looks like, which is really cool. Like, even when you went off to California.
Yeah. That was like my college. That was like...
And that was huge.
Yeah, that was a really big deal for me.
You know, and just like taking those steps out. And I think, I mean, we walked through a lot of things. Like, you kind of went through like a depression stage when you tore, was it your ACL and your MCL or just your ACL?
My meniscus, I had a complete tear in my ACL. Like, I had basically a knee reconstruction. It was terrible.
And that was what would have been during college time.
Yeah, I had to quit my job, quit school, like, learn how to walk again, basically. I was in physical therapy for, like, almost a year, yeah.
And I think that was, like, it was, like, a depressive state, but I think a lot of things shifted there. Yeah. Because, like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like my perspective of it is, I think our friendship, like, not to make it cliche, but I think why it's lasted is our shared faith and also just our shared drive. Like, I think you and I are not, our friendship's not surface level. Like, there's depth to it. because we've pushed each other to go there.
Right.
Because that was not your natural
state. I don't typically go there with people.
No. And I think and we'll get into that in just a little bit of just kind of like me sitting in a driveway. We've talked about that before of like, how do you really feel, you know? Like,
yeah.
But I think because of that, that's what's kept us. And I mean, I call you probably more than my mom, my dad, my husband. And they are probably like, how is that even possible? Because I call them a lot, but I do. Like, it's just, it's what I think to do. It's who I want to talk to. And sometimes I have nothing to say. It's just,
whenever I talk to April, whenever she hangs out, I say, okay, well, I'll talk to you in a couple hours. And that's true. Don't even roll your eyes. That is true.
It might be less than that.
It might. So, hey, you know what? Sometimes
5 minutes later.
I call her my boyfriend, my like stand-in boyfriend, because I'm like, fair. It really is like a companionship.
Yeah. No, it's really true. But I think, you know, when you were in that place of like, life just kind of felt, what am I doing? Where am I going?
It stopped.
It did.
And I didn't have any control over it.
But I feel like that's where I saw like you cling to the Lord in a way that I never saw. Like it just went deeper. Like it became like you always believed in the Lord. Like there was no question of that. And you have always been such a kind, intentional, giving, like people that know Katie. Like that's just who you are. I don't think you have a mean bone in your body, which is kind of frustrating, but it's fine. You show up. But I think in that time, it just went deeper because you had nowhere else to turn. So I'm curious, like, from your perspective, like, what made you turn to the Lord more in that time? Like, would you agree? Like, that was a turning point?
I just don't think I had any option. I was like, I think he broke me down to literally nothing. And I was like, I have no option. That's kind of how I feel right now about this whole situation I'm going through now. Like, I feel like literally I'm broken down to nothing and I have no control. So it's like...
Why do you think he does it?
Because I want to be in control, and I'm a control freak. Yeah. Like, I literally am a control freak, and I know people have told me that, but I didn't want to believe it. Yeah. But I want to be in control. It makes me sane. It makes me, my anxiety.
Safe.
Like, yeah, like, I like to know what's happening. Right. And so I think it's, like, it's him saying, like, you need to let go, and I'm going to make you let go. Yeah. You know, type of thing. You know, I'm going to take control over it. So that's, I mean, the knee surgery thing, too. I mean, that's the same thing.
No, and I think, I don't know, like, I just remember, like, that was a shift, you know, in our friendship. Like, I felt like our conversations, they were never bad. They were never, like, lacking, but I felt like they definitely grew. And it was, like, I don't know, I think it's in scripture, like, deep cries to deep, and I just felt like, man, this is a person that, like, is going to cry deep with me and go. Yeah,
and I think, too, like, before that, I mean, I'm grateful I never had to experience anything traumatic before that, and I think that was the first time I ever experienced, like, anxiety and depression, and that was scary. Those are really scary and real feelings.
And really, at that time, anxiety and depression wasn't spoken to like it is today.
No, not at all.
So it was a lot
I probably should have been on medication at that time.
Which is funny because I'm like, I didn't even know what I know now about anxiety and depression.
No, I wasn't educated in it at all. I think I was just like, oh, I don't want to, you know, have to be on anything. I don't even want to admit to myself that that's, you know, what it is. I'm just sad that my life stopped, but it wasn't. I should have 100% been on something.
Yeah. So I'm just like, wow, it's crazy because I'm like, we really have like walked through so many different seasons together. From that point, though, like, you started putting yourself out there for, I never can remember the name of it. What was the first, like, you submitted a photo for?
The first thing I ever did was the Torrid model search. That was back in 2015. Okay. And then I did some, like, BuzzFeed stuff. I think that was after that. Okay. But I sort of delved a little bit into this, like, kind of world of, like, content creation and modeling. And
so let's like pause, and I know we've talked about like being plus size, the challenges, body image, you know, singleness, all that stuff. We're going to tap on all those, but I'm hoping we can go deeper.
I'm trying not to cry today.
No promises.
I'm emotional in my
yeah, that's life.
Older age.
And you're what?
Older age.
No, but I think that was a really big deal for you. So, like, kind of going back to sitting in the driveway, we had never talked in our friendship about, like...
I never talked to anybody.
What felt like the elephant in the room of like,
Yeah.
we knew.
No pun intended.
Oh my God, only you. That is not how I meant it. Oh, fair.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to tell him what you said to me about the bathtub last night? This bathtub that we have is about 10 feet off the ground for whatever reason. And she goes, I don't know if you can get out of this. I mean, I even had a hard time. I was like, what is that supposed to mean?
It was only because I was thinking of her bad knee and the fact that it was really challenging to get out of. Wow, she's really going to blast me out here. Let's go. Let's go. This is friendship.
Anyways, go ahead.
But I think that also shows, like, as funny as it is, it's like, we can, like, talk that way. And it doesn't mean anything, like,
oh, yeah,
foul or cruel.
No.
It's just, I think, the comfortableness. But I think in our friendship at that point, we weren't comfortable.
No.
And that's why I say it was like the elephant in the room, because it's like, I know it has to be hard, but you never show it. And it was like, how do I respectfully, like, ask this with not just like,
right,
you must struggle with this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that wasn't my heart either in it. I just really didn't want you to have to go through life in that time feeling alone. Because the reality is I was not, like, obviously, like, I wasn't the girl that had all these guys pursuing me. So I also was really wrestling with, like, who I was, the way I looked. Like, I didn't like my body. There was just nothing. And I was settling and really getting into dangerous conversations. And I'd been very vulnerable with you. And I think something I always craved is, like, I wanted that vulnerability back. Like, I wanted to know, like, because on the outside, you were so fun. People loved you. You were, like, on freaking homecoming court. Like, people really liked you. But I also knew by looking at you, like, it wasn't what you were after and it wasn't fulfilling you.
Yeah.
So
I could care less about all that kind of thing. I mean, obviously, like, I did seek validation, but I think too, like, you were the first person that I ever really talked about how I felt about my size with, just because I think I didn't want to even address it because I didn't want people to see me any differently. Yeah. So that was hard. But yeah, I do remember that moment being in your driveway and being like, how do you feel? Like, I just, like, unleashed. And did you even expect that?
I don't know what I expected. I don't even know. I mean, honestly, like, now walking with the Lord, like, as long as I have, like, I think that was definitely a Holy Spirit moment. Like, I think it had nothing to be like, I'm this amazing friend. I just think I was there and the Lord wanted to use me to get you to share and open up. Yeah. And I felt so honored, but I don't remember how I handled it then because that was so new for me to walk in hardships like that with someone. Right. And I mean, even sometimes when we talk today, it's like, Holy Spirit, what do I say? Like, even last night when we're talking, right here in this position, just reversed. I had a breakdown last night. Just for purpose. And that's friendship. Behind the scenes purposes. But I think when you're watching, like, your friend, like, break down, like, you care for them so much. And I do. And it's like, what can I say right now? Yeah. And the reality is sometimes, like, nothing. Like, I can't say anything to fix what you're facing. Because it's your journey, your struggle. But I'm with you. And, and I'll speak life. But sometimes, like, I don't know, like, when I'm, like, going through it, I don't want to immediately be told, like, oh, but God loves you and he's for you. Yeah. And, like, sometimes I want someone to sit in the pit with me. Yeah. I want someone just to be like, this sucks. Right. This sucks. And so I don't know how perfect I am at that. I think it's validating someone where they're at. But then there also comes a point where it's like, okay, we got to change this. Right. Like, we got to go places. We got to do things. I think it's like you can wallow in it and I think it's like justified to wallow in like some self-pity a little bit for a little bit, but it's like at some point you need to pick yourself up and move forward because it's like you don't deserve to feel like that. And it was so funny because like as we were sitting here, you're like, I don't want to cry, I just want to have a fun time. Like, I'm not going to go here, I'm not going to do this. And I'm like, dude, that's friendship. Like, we're supposed to celebrate and we're supposed to grieve. Like, and it's putting yourself aside, like, life can't always be, like, I should be able to celebrate and you should grieve. Or I grieve and you celebrate. Like, we have not always matched up in the seasons that we're in. Sometimes we have. I mean, right now it's hard because you are struggling with singleness. You're struggling with, will a guy ever see me as beautiful? Like, will he pick me? Am I an option, you know? And that's a real wrestle.
Yeah.
And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, does my voice even count in the midst of this? Because I'm married. Like, does that, like, totally, like, cancel my voice out? Is it, well, you don't understand because you're married, you know? And there is truth to that. Like, when seasons, when you're in different seasons, it changes. And I think we've wrestled through that as well because we were really nervous, like, when I got married. Like, what's our friendship going to be?
Right.
And we're closer now than we were before, literally, you know? And, but I say all that just because I think you can be in different seasons and still remain so close. And I think the way to kind of, like, skirt around that is just put it out there of, like, hey, I know my voice may not matter as much, but I want you to know I care.
Right.
And I feel that. I may not feel it the same. And I can go back to, like, past experiences, but it's different than when you're currently in it.
Right.
But I don't think friendships have to end if I have kids and you don't have kids, or you know,
agree.
you're skyrocketing in your career and I'm struggling to get Cherish off the ground. Like, there's been realities of that too. Like, I watch your Instagram account and it's like 40,000 followers. I'm like, dude, I made it to 2,000. But that's the thing we've talked about also. It's like, we're not in competition with each other. Like, we celebrate that. But that also has to be welcome to the table too, on my side of, like, I've told you so many times, like, feeling insecure around you. Of, like, I look at you and I'm like, she is gorgeous. And I'm, like, not even kidding when I say, like, I struggled with, like, what outfits am I going to bring on this trip? You know? Like, so we each show up with our areas of insecurities or brokenness and it's not this, like, comparison. It's just learning to work through that of, like, how do we champion each other? How do we step into where the other person is at? And I talk about my marriage with you, you know, and in appropriate doses, you know, like, a lot of it's between Andrew and I, but there's moments where it's like, I want a friend just to be like, hey, can you be praying for us? You know? So, I don't know. I think that's just everything and all of
well, I think that's what you expect in a friendship too. I mean, at this point, because I feel like when you're younger, a lot of things are surface level just because you haven't lived a lot of life.
That's fair.
And so I feel like when you are older, it's nice to finally get to that point with someone where it's like, this is who I am. This is all that I am. These are the broken parts of me too. Yeah.
And finding someone that's going to take you right where you're at.
Right. Especially women.
Yeah.
Especially women championing women. I think that's really important. We talked about that earlier.
And you don't always see a ton of it.
Right.
And I think, you know, maybe surface level is not, like, the fair word. It's just, like, building, like, friendship off of, like, fun and laughter and memories, you know?
Right. Because I think of people in the past that I've been friends with, and it's very, like, okay, well, we can have fun together, and we can... It never gets past, like, okay, but, like...
And I think those are, like, those special, like... I call them, like, your inner friendships.
Yeah, I definitely have, like, circle friendships.
And I think another thing, too, is, like, we've never been bothered. I mean, I think definitely in the past went through this of, like, we were constantly in, like, friends of 3. So, like, one always gets left out. So I struggled a lot with FOMO, And I think that's, like, when I went off to college, it just kind of made it easier of, like, okay, they're over here. I'm going to make my own people. And I think that's where, like, a lot of damage was done rather than being honest with you at the time of, like, maybe where I was wrestling with things. Because I never want to be like, I'm fighting over Katie Brown. But I feel like that happened a lot, like, wanting your attention in that way. It's so funny. But I think even today, it's like, we live separate lives. Like, we stay in touch, but you have other friends outside of me. I have other friends outside of you. And I think... that's okay. And, like, I'm happy for that. Like, I want people to be in your life, people to be, you know, supporting you and cheering you on. And I think I've never been a person that needs just, like, one really, really close friend. But I think that's an important thing to speak to as well, of, like, holding everything and even people in your life with an open hand of, like, God, they're yours first. And wherever I fit in the midst of that, like, I'm happy to be along. I feel like at this point we're going to be lifelong friends because 20 years, that's a lot to just see it go out the window. And I think that, like, what do you think is, like, key for, like, the time of our friendship, in your opinion?
I mean, my thing with you and our friendship is, like, I think you do, especially when, because I do not break down in front of people. Like, that is not, like, even, like, my family. That, like, it takes a lot for me to break down in front of someone, and just to feel safe in front of you, I think is, like, I want to start crying again. But I'm like, it does. It's, like, that is so special to me, and something that I don't get from a lot of people and friends of mine.
That's hard.
You made me feel safe and comfortable.
Thanks. Ditto.
Yeah.
Look at us being all sentimental.
Because I'm not a cute crier.
I really didn't think it was bad crying. So,
really?
Yeah. I was like, it's kind of
Thank you.
sweet.
No, I get kind of red and my eyes get really red, but then my eyes look really blue.
So then you're like, slay.
Yeah.
So, going back to, let's talk about, because I think this would be interesting too, being plus size with a friend that's not plus size. How has that been challenging when you're in your circle of friends? Like, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's hard just because I think you know that you don't, and you always tell me, like, I know I can't walk in your shoes, but I want to hear, you know? So I understand that, like, you don't know exactly how I feel, and you won't know exactly how I feel. So it is hard. It is hard. And I think, too, like, what we were talking about earlier is, like, being authentic and, like, having body image struggles. And, like, you know, even though I look very confident online, I think it's very easy for me to be confident online. And I don't know why. I'm trying to figure out. Maybe it's because I'm not in person and it feels almost like a wall.
Yeah, it's like this.
It's different. It's a different feeling. But I do feel like I'm not perfect. I have days where I look in the mirror and I think I look terrible. I'm like, that's a monster looking at me. And I hate it. I hate what I see in the mirror. And that's just truth. And I hate that. And I know a lot of other girls feel the same way that I do. Because I think it's like, and again, like a conversation we were having last night, that society values being thin over, you know, any other body type. Is like, if you're thin, then that's a win.
Right.
It doesn't matter anything else about you. You're already preferable just because of the way that your body looks. So, yeah.
And I think, you know, it's hard, like, when you're in a group of friends and you're, like, you know you're the bigger one, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, that's, too, it's, like, even, like, when I would, like, go out, like, I'm not a going out person anyways, but I think that's probably part of the reason why is because it's, like, when I would go out with my friends, I'd be like, I know 100% I'm not going to get attention from a guy. Or I'm going to get some kind of attention that's, like, being made fun of, or like being like, why is this fat girl here at this bar, like trying to look this way or trying to get attention, you know? So I think that's like, too, I was like, I know that my friends are gonna be wanted before me. I'm gonna be the last in line.
Wow. And I think that was something that, like, in high school, like, you were really good at, like, I didn't know it then. I think it was, like, we've talked about it now, of, like, overcompensating and hiding, like, the true...
I still do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah. Because I'm like... But it's hard because, like, even though that was you overcompensating, like, I still fully believe that's who you are, too. Like, you know, like, you are so fun. You are the life of the party. You are so kind, so intentional. Like, your personality really is 10 out of 10. But it's funny because it's like everyone looks at you and it's just like, she is so gorgeous, you know, but it's you, like, discovering that for yourself. And it's also like wanting that from the opposite sex to see that, to know that, to walk in that. And I think that those are just the challenges that we navigate through that sometimes I have a hard time speaking into, you know?
Right.
Even though I relate with so much of it. And that's been a hard thing too, is that I feel like I struggled with weight, but I'm like, can I even talk about my weight struggles? Is that fair? You know what I mean?
Right.
And,
different. Yeah.
you know, but yet, like, and I think that's a good thing to point out too, is like body image is so large.
It's a big spectrum. Yeah.
Of where you can struggle with that. And even like there can be skinny girls out there that struggle with that, you know?
Yeah.
And
100%.
so I think that's hard too, of like navigating, like, you're my best friend and I want to talk about my things of struggling with weight. And I find myself constantly in that space of, I still wrestle today of like the way that I look and the size that I'm at, and trying to like give that to the Lord and walk through that. But being aware, being sensitive that my struggle looks different than your struggle. So I think that's like hard. Like, and I think that is a good friend of being mindful, being sensitive in that. And it would be really like rude of me, I guess, if that was like the constant state of mind without even thinking, you know, what the other person is walking through. So I think just being aware of those pieces is huge. But
yeah, well, I appreciate that, but I feel like I understand.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, like, I understand that you struggle with what you struggle with,
Right.
and I appreciate that. And like, I, never want you to feel like you have to close down anything just because of sensitivity towards me.
Right. It's a balance.
So,
it's a balance, you know, because I think that's just where we maneuver. And I think what's been really fun about like our friendship is just both chasing big dreams, and we get glimpses of that. Like, I don't know if you and I,
very big achievers.
Yeah.
Both of us, yeah.
And I think it's hard because we get moments of like being in those like I think of me at like Cherish Conference in that room surrounded by all these girls, and I'm like, this is a conference I'm hosting. This is the coolest thing ever. Probably like the same of like how you feel when you're on a set, or
100%. I think, but too, like, that's too being like mindful, because I always pray before I go on a set, and then typically I do pray while I'm there too, and just pray for like the crew and everything.
That's awesome.
But I don't want to get so caught up in what I'm doing to like not sit there and be grateful.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
And I think,
because not a lot of people get that opportunity.
No. And that's the thing and that's a good point too, because I think I've been in this mindset of like, since conference has been done, like I'm looking for what's that next big thing where like I can be seen.
That's exactly how I am too.
And when I'm not getting that, I'm like,
it becomes mundane. It is like, it puts me in such a low.
I'm like, oh, I suck.
Yeah.
Like, it's not working. Like, even like, I mean, honestly, this podcast has been such a struggle. So I have to balance. I have to bring it to the Lord of like, what's the purpose of me doing this? Like, is it because I want to be noticed? I want to be recognized? Or is it because I want the message of Cherish to get out there, which has been super cool, because lately, and this is so real, like 2 instances in the past, like, I don't know, 3 weeks, I've had 2 different people reach out to me. They're like, I did not know you ran Cherish Ministry, but it's been coming up and I've been wanting to get involved. And one thought goes through my head of like, well, dang, I need to make sure people know like my name's attached to this. Like, this is mine. Yeah. But then really quick after that, I know it's the Lord of like, I don't want it about you.
Right.
And I'm like, that's so good. Like, because it's not like, my heart's not for like my name to be attached, but that means girls are seeing something about this. They're hearing all these stories, and there's so many different people involved. They're like, who runs this?
Yeah.
How do I, And then, I was talking with someone at my home church, and they were like, I've known about Cherish. I've been following it. I just didn't know you were the one that was behind it. And I'm like celebrating that. But before, I would have been like so insecure by that of, they need to know I'm the one.
Yeah.
They need to know it's like about me. And this is funny too. And it's so petty, but it's like Cherish Ministry has like more followers on Instagram than my own. But I feel like
I think that's great.
And and I just feel like it's the Lord, like, April, like, I'm in charge of this. You just get the lucky opportunity of being on the front row, but just keep yielding yourself, keep giving it to me, and I'm going to take it to places, not you.
Yeah.
So I think, being grateful. And that was the thing, is like, even at this last Cherish conference, like, I'm looking around and I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm literally just in the audience worshiping, and it's just happening.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. It's like, I'm just creating a space for the Lord to show up. And I think in the same way, it's like, okay, God, like, I'm just showing up. You do your thing.
Yeah.
But I think we both get like, I don't know, so excited, just like full of you know, joy when we're in the midst of that because it's like
Yeah.
our sweet spot. Like we know that's what we're supposed to do. And then when it ends, it's like the depression, the blues, like
it's like a high and then a low. I think I am very like feelings person. Like
same.
I really don't have a logical bone in my body.
I think I took a test that told me I was 99% thought.
Oh, I think
feeling,
same.
1% thought.
I think me too. So like I run on like feeling and like emotion and like, which is probably not like the greatest thing.
Yeah.
As we've seen, but I'm not logical. And so I think for me, it's like when I experience a high, I experience the high and I feel it 100%. And then when I experience a low, I feel it 100%.
Yeah.
Like I'm a 0 or 100% person.
Yeah.
I'm never this like, oh, I feel kind of whatever. No, either I'm like
it's extremes.
Yes, it is. I'm either obsessed with it or I don't like it at all.
No, but I'm the same.
So yeah, I think it's like
there's no mediocre.
No, there's
ground.
no medium. I've never felt medium about anything in my life.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's like a part of the achiever. Like it's like you always are trying to like,
we're like
hit
the same
this high.
on the Enneagram too, right? Have you taken that?
3. I'm
yeah,
3.
3. Same. Yeah. Achiever. Hey yo.
Yeah.
Which I feel like has been good for us because I feel like again it's not this competition. It's like cheering. Mm-hmm. Maybe if we were on the same trajectory, it would be harder. But it's like the same yet different. Like you have the same heart of like reaching women and bringing.
Yeah, I do think we have a similar goal. I think we're just doing it in our own different passions and maybe interests.
Yeah.
But I think too, it's like when I leave a conversation with you like this, I feel inspired and motivated. And I don't know if I necessarily feel that with a lot of people, you know?
And I think that's what's really cool too is like the fact that like you knew about this dream, this heart, and now you get to like partake in it. Oh yeah,
seriously the coolest thing.
You know? And it's like, oh, okay. And I couldn't imagine not having you partake in it and get to share your story and be vulnerable in that. And just seeing our friendship unfold in the midst of it of like, oh, this is really, really cool.
Yeah.
You know? But we've been through a lot. I've seen a lot of things.
I know.
And we've had a lot of fun.
I know. Well, I think it's cool, and I know we've talked about this too before. It's like it's cool when you can be really vulnerable, but you can also be like have really fun.
Yeah.
And it's like you have that like spectrum of both.
The best
is really
worlds,
really nice.
No, it really is. Helps lighten the mood. Like today, we're gonna go explore Austin.
Yes.
Probably go to a coffee shop because it's kind of like cozy vibes.
I know it is rainy.
Maybe do some shopping.
Should I mention my Twilight reference?
Oh,
even though it ages me, feels like Twilight.
Andrew told someone, I think it was our senior pastor the other day, like we had a Twilight wedding. And I was like, oh.
You kind of did. And I think you walked down the aisle to a Twilight song, didn't you? I'm pretty, 100% you were down a turning page.
No.
Oh, you're trying to deny it now. Okay.
Wow. So much for a best friend. It was filled with
Just kidding. She didn't.
Till I found you.
Well, it took me a second. I was like, did you not?
That might have been like maybe for like the grandparents or something. I know my sister walked down to that song.
It definitely played.
It probably was in like the interlude part, but our song was not that.
Oh, well.
But yeah,
it was nice.
We've gotten to be a part of a lot of big moments together and celebrate that. And I think it's just really special and cool that we're still connected. And even though our lives are so different, yet not, you know, it's like we just...
I think there's like a common thread.
I think with like true friends, like you make it work. And it doesn't feel like work. It just kind of comes effortlessly. And I feel like the more we've grown up, like the more we've just established and found that rhythm.
Well, it's any type of relationship, right? Whether you're dating someone or friendship, you have to put work into it.
Yeah.
You know,
so
to get the results out of it.
Any other deep things you feel like you need to share?
I don't know. Ask me a question.
Oh.
I'll answer any question you ask me. Go. Actually, that's bad.
I'm like bad at that. I'm like, what's a fun like question? Okay, what's the hardest thing you're going through right now?
That's what I didn't want. I was like, what do I not want to share? And then that's what
it's like I know.
Yeah, I think it's It's hard. I think like we've touched like when we did our last podcast on singleness and stuff like that, and that has been like a really struggle as much as I've gotten older.
Yeah.
You know, I think that notion has, because I will tell you, like when I was in my 20s, like, and it might have been to me trying to like drown out those feelings.
Mm-hmm.
But like I wasn't interested in dating. I wasn't really interested in getting married. Like kids weren't even anything I ever thought I wanted. But now that I'm older, I'm 31. Now that I'm 21, now that I'm 31, I feel like there was a shift almost that happened, I think, when I turned 30. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I do want those things,
right.
and maybe I do want to have someone, and things would be really nice. And I think I had to also take a step too in being like, am I wanting those things because I want them and God wants them for me? Is that what God's best for me? Or do I want them because everyone around me is doing those things? And I feel like I'm behind if I'm not doing those things. And so I think it is like bringing that to the Lord and saying like, I want your best for me. And if this isn't your best for me, I don't want it.
It's hard. That's hard.
Yeah.
It's the verse I think of for you is delight yourself in the Lord and he'll grant you the desires of your hearts.
Because I think about things or people that I wanted when I was, you know, a teenager or like, you know, young, you know, early 20s and stuff. And I think, oh my gosh, my life would have been so different. And I would have been so unhappy if that's something that I wanted.
Yeah.
But God granted me that. I would have been like, because I like just,
no,
it would have been bad. So I think it's like sitting in that now and being like, okay, like I want those things now, but I want who and what God wants for me.
Yeah. No, I think
which is hard because again, I'm control freak.
But it's good. And it's like good to hear you're like, it's, you know it. And now it's just like lining up your heart with that. And I think we've talked about that too. It's like you can know something and now it's like, okay, how do I walk this out?
Yeah.
How do I take steps? Because the enemy's going to come with this narrative of, Katie, you're 31. And Katie, you should be here at this
Thank you for
point.
whispering that too.
You're welcome. I'm
yeah. No, I mean, I definitely, like, I've definitely have felt like, you know, I'm 31, like, that's too old, or, like, my weight is going to be a really big issue for me, and, like, men aren't going to see past that, and they're not going to be attracted to that, and that's, like, a last option. Again, I feel like a last option for a lot of men, and even have your weight, and then now it's like, okay, when I'm older.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, not what someone's looking for.
Right. And I think I've kind of related in some ways of even, like, Andrew and I have been married almost 5 years this next July, and it's like, okay, like, are we supposed to have kids now? Like, are we selfish if we're not having kids? Like, I should want kids, and I do, and it's not like this fear, but it's like wrestling through exactly that same thing of like, is this because it's the pressure of the timeline and I'm getting older and so I'm going to lose my like window of time, or, you know, are people going to look at us and be like, you don't have kids, so like, you're just all about yourselves. But we're just so involved in ministry, and there's so many things that, you know, with Cherish and with our jobs, and, you know, it again, it's just opening up to the Lord. It's like, Lord, you let us know when it's time, and we'll go wherever you want us to go, and we'll do whatever you want us to do. And it's interesting because it's like when you really do release it, there is this like, scary, but also like, okay, God, whatever you want, however you want this.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it's also like, it's a twofold. It's doing what you can with what you have during your time.
Right.
Of like, okay, like while you're waiting for like your guy, it's like, okay, well also like be developing and working on yourself, you know?
Exactly.
And same for like Andrew and I, it's like, okay, like if God's going to call us to be parents one day, like what can we do to prepare ourselves now for that, you know? And what does that look like with our time, our finances, our relationship, and communication with one another, you know, just all those pieces. And so, and I think that's been a wrestling point for you too, is like with weight specifically. It's like, okay, like I want this message of, like, I can be beautiful just the way I am.
Yeah.
But I also want to better myself. Like, I also want
Right.
to take good care of myself. But being careful and delicate with that message.
Yeah.
How do you, like, navigate through that? Like, maybe there's people that are questioning, like, are you trying to lose weight? Is that a goal? Or is the goal to be like, here, this is who I am? You know what I mean?
I think it's too, like, loving yourself at every stage. Because
Yeah.
I don't think it's wrong to change yourself if that's what you want to do. But I think it's if you want to do it.
Yeah.
If you want to do it.
Yeah.
It's not if someone's telling you to do it, if society's telling you to do it.
Yeah.
That's when I think it is wrong.
Right.
You have to be the one to tell yourself, okay, well, I want to change this by myself or whatever. But two, like, I think it's so important to love yourself at every single stage. You should love yourself at your heaviest. You should love yourself at your thinnest and everything in between.
And I think there's, like, our bodies change as we get older.
Exactly. And there's circumstances that you can't even help. I mean, if you get pregnant or whatever, your body changes naturally.
Right.
So
Right.
I think it's, like, really, truly right now learning to love yourself as you are right now. And that's going to make it so much easier for the rest of your life to love yourself.
And I think that's just, like, an ongoing challenge with, like, food and health. And it's like, there's going to be health concerns that come up. And so, okay, I've got to address this. And, like, I'm terrible about drinking water. Like, I got to drink more water, and I can complain, like, oh, my skin, or, oh, I feel bloated. And it's like, well, am I taking good care of my body?
Right.
No. But sometimes I want to have fun, like, on our trip. Like, I just want to, like, not be obsessed with the calorie count. So it's this really weird balance you have to figure out. And I think I'm still working that out, where I've gone through seasons where I've lost so much weight, and then I've gained the weight back. Or I've lost the weight and I've gained the weight back. And it depends on the seasons and the mindset. And a lot of shame comes into that picture, a lot of negativity. And I don't want to associate my happiness with, I'm the skinniest I've ever been.
Right. And I think that's true too, because I think I look at, I think, I look at someone and think, oh my gosh, like, if I was, like, that small, I would have such an easier time, or my life would be perfect, or, like, it would just be easier. And I don't think that's necessarily true. I think people still struggle, and just because we don't see it, it's behind the scenes.
And it's, like, funny because I look back at pictures like, oh my gosh, I was so much smaller then. And I realized, like, then I was having so many struggles of still being obsessed with, like, what I look like.
Right.
And every body shape, I think we had Izzy on the podcast. She talked about it so well, too, of, like, every body type's different. So, like, you can look at, like, a girl that's 5'2", and she weighs, 140 pounds or whatever it is. And it's like, that's going to look different on me.
Completely different, yeah.
Or I can weigh the same as someone and they look different.
Well, that's why you can't even, like, compare yourself to anyone. Because it's like, if you and I ate the exact same and we did the same amount of, like, movement and stuff, you and I would still look the same.
Yeah.
Or different.
Different, yeah.
We just wouldn't, our body compositions just aren't proportioned the same.
Right.
Our metabolisms aren't the same.
Right.
So I think it's true. It's like, even, like, taking and I know it's, like, difficult, but, like, taking the light off of, like, the what do I look like, but, like, doing more of that inner work.
Yeah.
Is that, like, inner beauty shining out for the outward beauty instead of just having, because it's like, the thing is, you can be the most beautiful person on the outside, but if you're ugly on the inside, it makes everything just look terrible.
And I think that's so true, because when you're focused on the inward part, like, naturally it's going to come out outwardly. And
100%.
you're going to want to make different decisions. Like, a lot of my, like, bad habits come from, like, being in really low points and, like, binge eating or eating my feelings, or just, like, boredom, like, not, like, it's attached to something,
Right.
like, I think, so it's, like, hard. But at the same time, it's like, well, God loves me in the midst of that. It doesn't mean stay where I'm at, It's like, I think God loves you where you're at, but he wants you. He's not going to leave you where you're at. But he's going to do it in such a kind and loving way, not in this, get off the couch, start moving, stop doing that, Or he's not going to shame you when I pick up a brownie. Like, you can't eat that brownie.
Right.
So it's just it's a dance you have to figure out. And I think only, like, you and the Lord can really walk that out.
Well, it's a happy medium between, like, living your life, too.
Yeah.
Like, you want to live.
Yeah.
And not be, like, so consumed. Because I can get really consumed with stuff like that.
It can go on either end. Yeah, I mean, there's times where it's like, I'm like, Katie, are you eating?
Yeah.
Literally, you know? So it's like, it can go from such extremes, you know, on either way. So finding that happy spot, which is hard to find.
Right.
And there may be seasons where you have to be more disciplined in order to get to that place, which is also frustrating.
Yeah.
But that's because, like, for me, like, I've abused so much of that. I'm just having a good time. I'm living my life.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, for all, like, 3 years of college, are you going to kick that back? You know?
Right.
Like, so it's just having those honest conversations with yourself. And I think I enjoy our conversations that you and I get to have about that. Like, I feel like they're challenging and fruitful. But it's hard. But we navigate it together. I think you're awesome. And I think you are definitely a trailblazer for many in showing that there's beauty in all shapes and sizes. And I think so many girls are going to be listening and impacted just by your vulnerability. And it can be hard when you're in a world where not everyone looks just like you. And where do I find my space? Where do I fit in? And I've appreciated that about you, about being bold, being vulnerable. That's why we have this podcast. Is I just want to create a space where you can feel safe, where we can say the things that maybe no one else is saying, or go to those places that no one else is going, and just be so candid. And it's not a like, here's the happy ending tight with the bow. A lot of what we're talking about is like we're in the middle of it.
Right smack dab in the middle of it. And I think too it's important to talk about that you know, what you see on social media, not saying it's a facade, but it's just like a portion of my life. You know?
Highlight reel.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I posted a picture last night. Incredible. And but do you know what I mean? Like, it's just funny because it's like, oh my gosh, like what? Like an hour and a half before that, I was like sitting here bawling at this table. And then we go out and I'm posting. So it's like, you would never know.
Yeah.
You would never know that had just happened. And so I think it's like taking just like a small dose of what you see on social media and know that that's not probably reality.
And I think that's where you have to create those boundaries for yourself of like, I have to be careful with the amount of time I'm scrolling through TikTok because I see, a new outfit, that girl's house, the way she in her marriage, you know, or whatever it is. And it's like, hold up a minute. Because then you stop appreciating what's right in front of you, you know, and what God has set in store for you. Right. You know?
But I think, too, he doesn't want to, until you appreciate what you're given, he's not going to give you more.
Yeah. Yeah. No. This has been good.
I know.
On the pod with my bestie and my matching PJs. Sort of matching. It's fine.
Well, again, it's just the pocket. It's really, they're not it's just different.
But I'm not going to lie, sitting on this bench thing that we're on right now, my booty's asleep.
I feel good. I love to sit.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, this has been honestly super fun. I know. We got to talk about a lot of things. I think we could talk more, but for the sake of, we'll probably just have to come back with a part 2.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say, well, if you want to hear more about my drama, tune in.
Spill that tea. Oh, my gosh. But hey, girls, we're so glad that you joined us for this podcast. I'm very excited that you're going to start seeing our guests, not just hearing them. It's going to be so fun just to have more organic conversations like this one. Katie, at the Cherish Community, we love you. We are for you and support you. And girls, make sure to tune in for season 3. It's going to be launching in 2025, probably mid to end January. Stay tuned. It's going to be exciting. We're doing a whole relaunch. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. So, love you all, and we will see you again back in season 3, 2025.
Stay classy.
Stay classy.